Hi, this is Rod at Custom Chronicles YouTube page. I'm going to show you the next project, which I already got started on because I got kind of excited to get into this little project here. And well, I forgot to video the beginning portion of it, but I'm going to show you where I'm at. Here it is. It's a Fender. It's a Camaro Fender from the 60s, late 60s. And it's a little rusted out, weathered patina. I started stripping the rust off, getting that done. I'm using an easy strip wheel and a wire brush, and I already did a little bit of sandpaper to get the bulk of it off. The whole Fender looks like that, just kind of crappy. It's been sitting outside, getting some weather on it. It's got some rust, and so anyways, that's where we're at. I've been using this. I'm going to be using this big beast here, and the 8-inch sandpaper wheel. But there it is. That's the beginning portion of it. I'm going to get all the paint and the mud stripped out of here, and I'm going to smooth it over, weld up a patch in there where that piece of metal was randomly cut out, and these holes, because it's going to be a wall hanger sign for an office, and we're going to incorporate a clock in. If I didn't say that already, sometimes I'm pretty redundant and I repeat myself because I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. But anyways, there we go. I'll show it when it's all stripped down and then talk about the next process. Welding it in. Got this patch in. I don't got it completely welded in. Look at all them boogers. And so anyways, I'm going to get that welded up, ground down. We got this right here. That I'm just going to fill with some epoxy and those, and we're kind of making way on this. I'll get this sanded down better, get more of the surface contamination off, and get that end there cleaned up. So we're making forward progress. That's it. I'm gonna do a little spotting in here. Hopefully I don't have a problem with the video. Yeah, go figure, sneezing. Boogers. All right, here we are. We're just kind of wet sanding away on this primer. Just getting started. Doing a little cross hatch and find out where all the bad spots are. There's a couple I've already spotted. But anyways, I'm just going to kind of go through this, get this sanded down, take care of the bad spots, and just kind of keep on moving on. The black stuff's guide coat for those who don't know, and that's going to show me where my high and lows are. And I don't know if we can see that. There's a spot I got to fix right there and there. But anyways, keep on moving on. Now the Fender's painted black. I didn't show that. There's plenty of video of that stuff. Just kind of walking around it real quick, and we're going to get the flat clear on. I will show that, and there you go. All right, I'm starting up the flat clear, and the reason I'm showing this is just, if you don't know, is that you got to make sure you get this stirred up good. This way the flat, the flattening agent in it is nice and consistent. I've done it in the past where I haven't stirred it up so well, and it's just, one's panel was really flat and the other one's not quite as flat. So that was a learning mistake. And right there on the end of the stick, you can see there's no white buildup or anything on there. So I got this stirred pretty good. And I'm going to load up the gun. It is mixed 6-to-1. It's what I'm using is FC21, excuse me. And then I'm using the hardener there. So it's mixed 6-to-1 if I didn't say that already. And we're gonna get this loaded up and get it sprayed on the fender. All right, flat clear. Spray this on. Already got a couple coats on it. Spray it like regular clear. Get 3 coats. I want good solid coverage. Doesn't flow out like the other clear does, is from my experience. But we can get it nice and flat. Where we're at on this fender project is I got the layouts. Now I'm not doing these block. This is basically a guideline for the size and the placement of the phone number here. And then obviously got this laid out. Now I've got the transfer tape down. We're gonna, Cerro paper or graphite paper, excuse me, all these letters right here. And then I'll cut them out and actually paint. I'm going to spray these and then come back and then take care of things with the hand brush. And the same thing with this, we're not going to use the block letters. We're going to, again, it's for the placement and size. So anyways, the next phase is coming right up. Okay, now I've done, just kind of show you real quick, the transfer here. You got the artwork, the size, it's all laid out where it's supposed to be. And I got the Cerro paper, and right below it is where I just traced out those couple lines there. And that's how the transfer is done. And I'll come back and I'll cut all this stuff out. And that includes up here and there. And then I'll start to do the painting. And I'm kind of telling in advance what I'm doing because this is a good part of this video, I guess, to explain that. And we'll just keep moving forward. This will all get traced out, all this, all of that, and then down here, that'll all get traced out, and then we will proceed to move forward. I've already begun the cut and peel. I've got this portion of the sign done, and I basically, on the cursive writing, I just do it in small sections. This way I make sure I get it nice and clean. Use the X-Acto there, and I just do 1 or 2 at a time because it looks like I forgot to do the inside of the E here. That way I don't get too far ahead of myself and start missing things, because you don't want to distort the transfer tape by pulling on it too much. But here we go. I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm just kind of going through the motions here. And I've already did an explanation earlier in this little video of the steps. It's basically saying what I was going to do. And here we go. And I adjust things as I go too, because sometimes the script's too small and I got to borderline all this stuff by hand, so I got to make adjustments so that it looks right at the end. But here we go. We're just kind of just peeling away. I'm having an issue here. See if I can get it, but there it is. And there's that. Gotta cut it better on this end right here. But there we go. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep going on through and get the rest of it done. And then of course that and here. There we have it. That portion's all cut out. And then we'll get the base white down and then get the graphic color going on. We've still got to do these here. The phone number, and on this side. Obviously you see we're putting down the base white here, just kind of using the single action airbrush. It is throwing the material out. And it's almost too chunky, but it's flowing out, so that's good. And once we get this done, I'll double check everything and make sure before I go and spray the next color, just make sure we got good coverage. This is done better. Flashing down a little bit. So here you go. You see what the next stage is and how this is starting to come out. I can't wait to get the color on and then do the detail work. That's always fun for me. Then we'll move into all the other portions of the fender. But this is a project we're starting to get it to be wound down, and that's a plus. The thin script is obviously quick to kind of go through because I don't have to worry about so much. I pretty much get it all covered. Gotta clean the tip. Alright, got racing engines taped off, so now we spray the magenta. Well, here we are in the next phase there. I've got the blue on, and now I'm doing the highlight lettering or striping or detail work. I don't know what to call it, but there we go. And I'm using a mix between red and magenta, and I got this nice little kind of color here. I'm going around, I'm putting the highlights in on the stripes, see. Just right across the top, kind of creating a peak here. I'm not doing traditional highlights, but that's what I'm doing. So there you go. Okay, there we go. I don't know how well it's coming up in the camera, but we got the highlight stripes or detail work done. And we're going to move on to doing the borderline. After I shoot the clear, I'm going to shoot clear over this first and then pull all the tape, weed it all out, and then I'm going to come in and borderline everything. And now that I got the the highlights done, the clear, and I go ahead and pull the mask off there, I'm going ahead and starting to pop all the portions out right here. I got the B to do and the O on that. I got inside the R here and the A. I just got a few more to do, and then I'll go to the next step, and we're just kind of moving along. Got that still to do, but all in all, it's looking pretty good, and I think the layout's the way it should be. Looks great, and that's it. All right, we're now into the borderline and drop shadow phase right there. And it's going to bleed over into this here. I was actually going to do white on here, but I'm going to change the color, namely because I'm going to have, where you have the overlaps, I'm going to hit to do that where I do some detail in there so you can see the letters better. Or I may not, I don't know. When I get done with it, I'll take a gander. But let me show you what brushes I'm using here real quick, and we'll move on from there. Alright, the brush I'm using is this. It's a lettering quill, and I'm using the flat side down, and I'm going to come in at an angle here, and I'm just going to drag it across the bottom. And that's all I do for the drop shadow. And then I'm using a different brush. This is my virus brush. This is the middle size of the 3. And that's what I'm using to do these thin lines, which are the vertical lines. And pardon the cat's kind of blowing the the line here, and I'll just come back and I'll load that up just like that. And I'll go ahead and I'll go through this whole process, and then at the end I'll show you the finished work. Name is done. I got the drop shadows. I'm going to do a little bit of fine tuning, but I'm not going to show that. But the reason I started on the last name is because I'm left-handed, and I'm going to be dragging it all the way across over to the left. And I'm going to come back because these are so tight. I'm going to do a different color right here and right here. I was going to originally do white, but I'm not going to do that. And there we go. We're making some progress. I'll get all my touch-ups done and get this all finished up on the Benston portion here. The name is all done up here, and I'm pretty happy with it. And now we're just kind of borderlining this to give it the breakup from the black and to clean up the edges from where I cut it out. And I'm just using this brush here and this here. And this is a virus, the small one. I don't know the number, I guess it's 0. And so anyways, I'm kind of just going around tracing that and getting the borderline done. And then we'll keep on moving on. Still got the numbers to do. Yeah, here's just a little borderline segment. Just me just brushing away, getting this done here. The first word with the light blue outline here is the engines, and that's the farthest to the right because I'm left-handed, and I'm just kind of getting through this here. I'm not going to bore you by showing that, but here's how it's coming out. It looks wonderful, and I'm more than happy with what I'm doing here. The contrast between the shiny and the matte is working out really wonderful. And so anyways, I hope you guys are learning some stuff from this. If not, I'll try to do something on the next video that's more substantial. But anyways, do me a favor, if you like this content I'm putting out, hit the subscribe button, the like, thumbs up, leave a positive comment, or you can leave a negative one, doesn't matter. And we're just going to keep on finishing this project up. Now I'm doing the phone number on this. You can see kind of the chalk mess right here, and also over there. And what I've done is I've peeled the tape back up gently. I've used the pounce wheel and I've perforated that, pounced it out, pulled the tape back, and then with the stator pencil I've marked that down. And that's going to be my guideline for size, proportion, and placement of the numbers when I go to hand paint this. I'm sure there's a simpler way, but this is the way I figured out on the fly, because again, what I'm dealing with is I'm dealing with the satin finish, a flat finish, and I'm painting on top of that, and I'm trying to do the layout without marking it up too much, because you know how these satin finishes get is you can leave fingerprints or shine them up by accident, and I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to keep it satin and get all the information that needs to be put on it. And so far so good. Everything's looking good. I got a little bit of cleanup to do right here. And so anyways, next thing I'm going to do is pounce this side out and then get it drawn out so that I can pull the mask on it. Okay, you gotta forgive me. I didn't get any video of doing this stuff. I misplaced the camera. I found it, so now I'm back on doing the video. I basically just, obviously hand painted it, and I'm not done yet. I'm gonna, outline it and then do kind of a small drop shadow on these. Obviously, I gotta clean the chalk up, and so that's where we're at on this. And then once I do all that, I got a graphic down here to do right underneath. And so we're wrapping this thing up. We're kind of moving forward a little bit. Now I can spend a little bit of time on it. And so there we go. Okay, now I started with the thicker drops right here. And using this brush right here, the Tidwell. Let's see if I can get that in focus. I just can't seem to get it in focus. But anyways, it is the Max Tidwell, and the size I'm using I think is large. And I got it totally off focus, but anyways, I'm palette out the paint. I'm going to come in on the top side of the 4 and put down a thicker line, and I don't quite carry it to the top. I'll do that with the fine brush to get the line correct, and I'm just kind of just putting that on there. And I'll carry it all the way down, and then I'm going to tie into the bottom. The bottom's getting it too, right here. And there we go. And I'll come back in, I'll just thicken that just a little bit more. And just try to keep a smooth, even stroke. It's got a slight bend in the front face of the 4, right there. And then I'll come in with the small brush, tidy everything up. Let me get some paint on that. And I'll tidy this up right here. Hopefully I'm in focus. I can't see in the camera, turn the screen portion off. So I'm tidying up that right here. I'm just kind of bring a straight line. And I'm not trying to get absolute coverage. I'm trying to show the brush strokes a little bit, give it a little bit of patina. And there's that. Just one more thing to do. Is the underside of that 4 where it's just way too black, and I'll tidy that up right there. And I'll bring that in, bring that around here, and there we go. That's it for that, and I'll just go ahead and complete that out, and then we're going to put some stuff here. Okay, got all the drops on the numbers here. It's all borderline and everything. And we'll go up here and there. Now I'm going to come in and do any touch-ups at this point by hand, like kind of tidy up again a little bit more. Every time I go through these phases, it gets just a pinch better. And but anyways, there we go. And we're looking pretty good. I think this is going to be a good looking wall display in the office at the shop there. now I got the tiki guy here all drawn out, and started to pull the transfer tape right here. I'm going to spray this all white, and you'll see that here in a little bit. But anyways, the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to try a new technique. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, I'll explain why. But anyways, if not, then I'll go back and, you know, basically just do this way I've done a lot of things, the old way, where I paint it white and then place the cutout back on it, and then start cutting out individual sections and airbrushing in, and then come back with the brush and do that. That's the way I've been doing it, but I'm going to try a new technique because I'm actually trying to brush paint this whole thing, and this kind of being a little bit of pain to get off. But anyways, that's where we're at. We'll get it sprayed, and then we'll go from there. And there is the silhouette. Got that piece up there, and that's it. We'll keep moving forward. Here I have put down the base way. I put it in nice and thin. I'm not trying to really hammer it on yet, mainly because I want it smooth and toned out good, because I'm going to be hand painting the majority of this anyways. But anyways, there we go. I'm probably just going to do a pinch heavier, but you get the gist of what's going on here. So there it is. Now here's this image. It's all drawn out, and I got the graphite paper right here underneath. I've already gone ahead and traced it out. Let's see how this looks. Hopefully it's not a shipwreck. I've saved that one just in case. And no, we got the image. It's very faint, which is good. And I'm going to come in and start hand painting. Just got to do the inside of the rim there. That's all I got to do to make this happen. So I'm going to trace that there, and that's it. Everything else looks good. Well, here's the tiki. It's all done. Just for size comparison, there's my hand. So it's not too big, but big enough. And I went ahead, did some of the detail work, and that it's kind of on the, a little bit on the crude side, but I don't want to say it's crude. It's just small, and there we go. But I am going to go ahead and get this in clear. I got to come back afterwards and then do the borderline. I'm not going to video any of that. I'm just kind of going to wrap this video up on this note. And well, there's that, and you can still see the numbers. Just trying to get these things finished up and moved on out of the shop so I can start to the next project. I do got some race stripes coming up. It's been a big job to get finished, and there's a couple other things coming up in the next few videos, but I'm gonna hopefully start getting them up quicker. And that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. All right, here's the tiki. I did all the borderline. The next thing I do is put my signature here and the date. So hopefully I can do this without botching this up here. Very small, very there it is, RCP, and that will be 22. There it is. Okay, the very last detail I'm doing on this is I'm going to pinstripe just that corner and the front corner. Just kind of going retro old school on that. So that'll wrap this job up completely, and all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. Everything looks good, the numbers, all of it. So we're rocking and rolling. And now I'm just dotting up the star here at the end. There's your little round dot up there too. And well, and then we got to pull these.